Every single AI breakthrough, every smartphone in your pocket, really all of modern technology, it's all built on a foundation that most of us never ever see. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain and dive deep into the hidden world of semiconductor materials.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll use our 5-part framework to really break it all down. We'll start with the big catalyst that's shaking things up, then we'll map out the value chain, figure out who the real gatekeepers are, dig into the core technical challenge, and then we'll wrap up with a watch list so you know what to look for going forward.
Right, so first things first, why this industry? And why right now? Why has this invisible part of the tech world suddenly become so critical on the global stage? I mean, it's a fair question, right? In this massive race to build incredible AI and next-gen computers, why are we all of a sudden obsessed with things like chemicals, filters, and, well, plastic boxes? The answer is that 3 incredibly powerful global forces are all converging at this exact moment. It's this perfect storm. First, you've got a massive technological leap with the push to 2-nanometer chips. At the same time, there's this huge geopolitical scramble for countries to localize their own supply chains. And finally, the financial health of these companies is improving, which means they have the cash to invest. When you get technology, geopolitics, and finance all pushing in the same direction, you get a massive tailwind for the whole sector. And this right here is the absolute heart of the matter. As companies like TSMC and Intel push towards making chips at the 2-nanometer scale, we're talking transistors that are just a few atoms wide, the entire game changes. It's not just about making things smaller anymore. It becomes an all-out war against contamination. The tiniest speck of dust can destroy a multi-million-dollar batch of chips. Purity isn't just a feature, it becomes the ultimate currency.
So that brings up the question, where do these materials actually fit into the whole picture? To understand that, we need to map out the value chain and see where the power really sits.
Okay, so if you look at the entire supply chain, we are laser-focused right here on step 2, critical materials and contamination control. This isn't just some early step, it is the absolute foundation for everything that comes after. If you get this wrong, if contamination gets in here, nothing else matters. The whole batch is worthless. This stage is the ultimate gatekeeper of quality.
And hey, if you want a perfect example of this obsession with purity, look no further than this. It might look like a simple plastic box, but it's not. This thing, called a FOUP, is an incredible piece of engineering. It's basically a personal, mobile, ultra-clean room that protects those silicon wafers as they move between hundreds of different steps in the factory.
Okay, so in an industry this critical, where one tiny mistake can be absolutely catastrophic, who's in control? Who are the real gatekeepers? And more importantly, how do they hold on to all that power?
And this is where it gets really interesting. The key competitive advantage, the moat, so to speak, isn't just about being the best at one thing. It's all about integration. Companies that can provide the entire purity ecosystem, controlling the chemicals, the filters that purify them, and the special containers that handle them, they have a massive, massive advantage over competitors who just solve one piece of that puzzle.
And this quote just nails it. Think about it from the chipmaker's perspective. Buying a single, guaranteed, integrated system for purity is way less risky than trying to piece together different solutions from multiple vendors. That integration is what wins you the big contracts with the biggest players.
But, it's not all smooth sailing. When you're this specialized, you're also incredibly exposed. Geopolitical tensions can disrupt your supply chain overnight. Your entire business can swing based on the spending habits of just a few giant customers. And man, if their next-gen chip technology gets delayed, all that money you poured into R&D just sits there, waiting to pay off.
Now let's really zoom in, right down to the atomic level, because the single biggest technical challenge that defines this entire industry is what's known as the purity bottleneck, and it truly is a battle being fought against a single atom.
So in the world of chip making, there is one word that matters more than any other: yield. It's simply the percentage of good, working chips you get from a single silicon wafer, and it's the metric that separates massive profits from catastrophic losses. The number one killer of yield: contamination.
And the level of purity that's required now is, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. 1 part per billion. To put that in perspective, that is the equivalent of a single drop of ink in an entire Olympic-sized swimming pool. That's the standard.
And that is exactly why this sector holds so much power. These companies aren't just selling chemicals or filters. They are selling yield. They are essentially selling profit margin insurance to their customers. They are the ones who make their customers' entire business model possible.
All right, so we've got a handle on the mechanics, the players, and the challenges. So where does it go from here? How can we actually read the vital signs of this industry to see where it's headed?
Well, based on all the drivers we've been talking about, that big tech shift, the push for local supply chains, and the huge demand from AI, it's pretty clear the industry is now firmly in an expansion phase. It's moved past the recent recovery, and it's really starting to ramp up.
So to make this practical, here's a simple 3-point toolkit you can use to track the sector's health yourself. First, is revenue from the newest, most advanced chips actually growing? Second, are the key companies managing their debt well? And third, what are the customers' order cycles telling us about real demand and inventory levels?
And as always, our goal here isn't to give you the answers or financial advice. It's to give you a framework, a mental model. We want to arm you with the right questions to ask so you can analyze these complex global industries on your own terms. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In the future of computing, who really holds more power? The brilliant chip architect who designs the circuit, or the materials purifier who makes building it physically possible in the first place? It really gets to the heart of where value is shifting in the tech world. Thanks for joining this explainer.